Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Mirella over here, and if it's your very first time of seeing me in a video, I'm saying welcome to you, and if you're a returning subscriber, welcome back to the channel. Now in today's video I'm going to be talking about how to find accommodation as an international student, so stay tuned. Now I'm going to be focusing on the 5 ways you can find accommodation as an international student in the UK. Now the first I would like to mention is the on-campus accommodation. Now this I would say is the easiest way for you to get an accommodation in the UK, because as a student you can just go to your university's website and search the accommodations they have available for you and your pocket. Now let's talk about the pros and cons of an on-site campus accommodation. Now the first pro is the safest for students coming into the UK, because first, your campus is going to be within the university, and the university will definitely make sure they have like security measures in place for you. Either they give you like a key card, or they provide essential security for their students in the UK. And one thing I would like to mention based on security is, because you're doing everything through the university's website, it reduces your risk of getting scammed while looking for an accommodation in the UK. Now the second pro is that you're going to be able to make new friends and meet new people, and I can tell you firsthand that while studying in the UK and living in an on-campus accommodation, my time in the UK was amazing because my flatmates were the best. I got to meet new people and learn new cuisines along the way, different cultures and everything. So I would definitely advise you for you to first go for an on-campus accommodation and get used to your environment before thinking of bouncing to another accommodation. Now the third pro is that it reduces your cost on transportation. Now because you literally live on campus and you're a few steps away from your classrooms, you don't need to spend money on bus, taxis, or whatever other means of transportation there is available in the UK. You don't need to think about all that. You just need to wake up in the morning, walk to class, and head back home when you're done with class. So that's a big pro, because there was a time I also lived off campus. Oh my gosh, and I suffered a little bit, because after classes we usually had like 2 or 3 hours break in between the next class, and I would have to either hang around campus and wait for my next class, or make decision to walk 30 minutes back home and 30 minutes back to school, which means that would be like an hour walk, and I'll have 2 hours left to either rest or do whatever. To me it didn't make sense basically. So on campus is good. That's like a good pro for people living on campus. Okay, so now I'll go to the cons of living on campus. Now the only con I can think of for people that decide to go for an on-campus accommodation is the fact that it's going to be on the pricey side. Yes, compared to other accommodations, compared to the ones offered by private companies or the ones off campus, the one on campus is going to be the most pricey accommodation you will ever find. So that I would say is the only con. But when you look at all the pros that comes with it, I think it's worth it. So if you have the money, please go for an on-campus accommodation. Okay, now the next type of accommodations available to international students is the off-campus accommodation. Now these are usually owned by private companies, and some universities work hand in hand with these private companies to provide you with an off-campus accommodation. Now like I said, some universities provide you with this option. So if you check your university's website, you would see the accommodations the university have to offer. So you see the ones on campus, and you also see accommodations off campus. Okay, so the universities literally work hand in hand with the private companies to provide you with the off-campus option. Now in this situation, accommodation is usually maybe like 15 minutes walk away from school, or 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 minutes walk away from your school. So it's not usually that far. It's not that bad. The security is still good. The only con is that it's a little bit far from university, and it's quite cheaper than the on-campus accommodation. So you can also look into that if you guys are interested in. You can also check private companies like CRM Students. We have a Fresh Student Living. We have IQ, Daunting Student Accommodation, and we also have Amber Student Accommodation. Now while searching for accommodation, I feel like you should have your own personal checklist of what you're looking for in an accommodation, which would help you choose the best accommodation for you. So one of the things on your checklist should be the money. Are you willing to pay a lot of money for your comforts? You know, you have to have that on your checklist. Also, is distance an issue for you? If you think distance is an issue for you, then you should be looking more into the on-campus accommodation. Now thirdly, do you want to live close to the city center or far away? If you're living far from the city center, just know that you have to commute to there, so you have to plan it. Are you going to walk to the city center? Is it reasonable to always walk to the city center? What if you are buying things and you have lots of bags on you? Do you have to take the bus? Can you cycle? For people that can cycle, living off campus might be a good opportunity for you and a good choice for you, because you can always cycle to your accommodation. But if you're like me that sweats like a pig, I don't know if pig sweats, but if you're like me that sweats a lot, even when it's winter over there, cycling might not be the best option for you, because you'll get to class all drenched and people will be looking at you like you are crazy. Like, why is this girl sweating in winter? So you just have to pick the best situation that is best for you as a person. So have your own personal checklist, check it off, and that would basically help you pick the best accommodation suited for you. And I also like to mention that you might be hearing me say 20-30 minutes walk, 40 minutes walk, and you might be thinking that's long at first as a Nigerian, because we don't usually walk everywhere in Nigeria. We either take a bike or take a bus or something. We don't usually walk. It's not like a tradition for us to walk in Nigeria, maybe because we don't have like lots of pedestrian roads in the country, but that's another topic for another day. But in the UK, I feel like 30 to 40 minutes is not that much. It's not bad at first, because you're new there. You might be thinking that's bad, but when you get used to it, walking the distance, I just feel like the only thing you need to do is plan your time well. Make sure you calculate your timing, leave home at the appropriate time. So you give yourself 40 minutes ahead of your class schedule. So if your class starts by 8, you should know that you are leaving the house 40 minutes before your class starts, because your work is either a 30 minutes walk and you want to get to class and be relaxed and not all sweaty or whatever. So you just need to plan your time well. Everything about the UK is about plan. There's no African time over there. Even if you're going to take the bus, you have to plan your time well, because if you get there late, the bus is going to leave you. Even if the bus driver is seeing you wave it down, it's not going to stop for you. It's going to definitely leave you. So you just need to be on time and leave African time in Africa. Okay, now the next place you can find accommodation in the UK is a website called Gumtree. Now I would compare this website to Facebook Market. So this is basically like Facebook Market. It's founded by two friends. They wanted to basically build a community where people can move to a new city and find a community of people that could help them with a place to live, a new job, furnitures or whatever in the city. So that's why I always relate it to Facebook Market. They basically created the website to help people come together and help each other out in little ways they can. You can either buy or sell on the Gumtree platform. Now the fourth option for international students to find accommodation in the UK is Facebook Marketplace. Yes, I know you guessed it right, because I've been mentioning it already. Now Facebook Marketplace has grown to be such a huge platform for people to buy, sell, and communicate with each other on what they need. So you can just go onto Facebook Market and you will see accommodations available. People usually put out their properties. Either they're looking for a roommate or they want to like rent out a space. You can check Facebook Marketplace. You would find prices that are reasonable for you in your city. So please don't forget Facebook Marketplace. Facebook Marketplace is the best place also to find accommodation as a student, or not only students. Anybody can find accommodation on Facebook Marketplace, but because this video is specifically for students, I will say as a student in the UK, you can find accommodation on Facebook Market. Now, one of the reasons for the massive growth of Facebook Marketplace is because the platform suggests products that are relevant to the buyer or seller. Okay, so I've noticed that whenever I enter Facebook Marketplace, they always give me suggestions relevant to my needs. Okay, so I'm guessing that is why the platform has grown so much and everybody is using it to trade, because as a buyer, you find what you're looking for, and as a seller, you find the right customers for your business. So it's really a good place. Now, the next way international students can find accommodation in the UK is through other websites. So we have websites like spareroom.com, or we have like Flatmate. You can usually go through these websites and you would find accommodation suitable for you in the UK. Just browse through the website and hopefully you'll find what you're looking for as a student in the UK. Now, before I leave, I'll give you a bonus point on how you can find accommodation as an international student in the UK, because I said I was going to mention 5, but I'll give you 6. You can also find through your family, so I'll call this family accommodation. Now, if you have any family, if you are lucky enough to have a family living in the UK, why can't you just stay with them for the time being? I would always advise new people coming into the UK to stay with their family first, get used to the environment, save a little bit of money. while working also in the UK. So you won't be stranded in the UK and feeding from hand to mouth, from hand to mouth. No, I wouldn't want that for you, because that's what everybody does. They're always feeding, everybody is struggling, they're always feeding from hand to mouth. So if you have a family in the UK, try to save a little bit of money, stay with them for a few months, okay, or for however long they are comfortable with you being with them in the house. Just make good use of that opportunity, okay? If you have family in the UK and you're also schooling not too far away from them, stay with them, because you are going to be saving around 600 to 800 pounds a month. That is a lot of money, and I wouldn't want you to miss out on that. So if you have your family in the UK, kudos to you and lucky you, okay? Stay with them. And with that being said, don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye. If you guys want to see more videos from me, please put it down in the comment section what you want from me, and I'm going to make a video on that, okay? Bye guys.